You know that feeling, right? When your projects feel like they're just sinking in this ocean of missed deadlines and to-do lists that never seem to get shorter? Well, if you've ever felt that, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to transform that chaos into crystal clear clarity with a step-by-step guide to agile project management. Let's jump right in. So, does this hit close to home? You kick off a project with this perfect, beautiful plan, but before you know it, the backlog's just piling up, deadlines are flying by, and the people you're actually building this thing for, your customers, well, they're getting pretty frustrated. If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are not alone. These are the classic warning signs that your traditional approach just isn't cutting it anymore. But hey, don't sweat it, we've got a roadmap for you. First, we'll dig into why so many projects just go completely off the rails. Then we'll explore the agile mindset, which is a whole new way of thinking about work. We're going to spend a good chunk of our time on Scrum. That's the real hands-on framework. After that, we'll meet the key players who make it all happen. And finally, we'll check out how some really big companies are using these ideas to absolutely crush it. Okay, first things first. Let's get right to the heart of the problem. Because before we can find a better way, we really have to understand why the old way so often leads to burnout and frustration. And this right here is the tale of two completely different worlds. On the left, you've got the old school predictive approach. A lot of people call it waterfall. It's all about making one giant, super detailed plan upfront for everything: scope, schedule, budget. And then you just follow that plan no matter what. On the right, you have agile. Instead of one massive plan, you work in these small, repeatable cycles, checking in every day and getting feedback constantly. Here's the most important part. The old way, the predictive model, it hates change, it fights it. But the agile approach, it actually welcomes it because it understands that the best ideas evolve over time. So this is a really big deal. Agile isn't just a process you follow. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. It's a completely different philosophy on how we work, how we collaborate, and how we create real value. And the heart of that philosophy is captured perfectly right here in the Agile Manifesto. It's based on 4 incredibly simple yet profound values. It says we should value individuals and how they interact more than rigid processes. That we should focus on a product that actually works more than just writing tons of documentation. We should collaborate closely with our customers more than just sticking to a contract. And maybe the biggest one of all, we should respond to change more than blindly following a plan. Now, this doesn't mean things like plans and documentation are useless. Of course not. It just means we've learned to value the stuff on the left even more. So you might be asking, why go through all this trouble? Well, the payoff is huge. Teams that truly get agility can react to what's happening in the market with incredible speed. They're way better at tackling complex, thorny problems. They can pivot based on what customers actually want, which makes for happy users. And honestly, this way of working is just way more motivating for the teams themselves, which leads to better results all around. Okay, the philosophy is great, but how do you actually do it? What does it look like on a Tuesday morning? Well, that's where Scrum comes into the picture. Scrum is, by far, the most popular way to put that agile mindset into practice. You can think of it like the operating system for your team. It's the practical, step-by-step guide for getting things done the agile way. All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts. It's time to pull back the curtain on Scrum and break down the process, the events, and the tools that teams use to build awesome things one small piece at a time. The whole beat of Scrum is what's called a sprint. It's a short, fixed period of time, usually a week or 2, maybe up to 4, where the team's entire focus is on turning ideas into something real and valuable. And inside every single sprint, you have these 4 key events. It all kicks off with sprint planning, where the team figures out what they can achieve. Then, every single day, you have the daily Scrum, a quick 15-minute huddle to sync up and clear any obstacles. At the very end of the sprint, there's the sprint review, where the team shows off what they built to get real feedback. And finally, there's the sprint retrospective, which is just for the team to look back and figure out how to make the next sprint even better. It's this beautiful, continuous loop of planning, doing, checking, and adapting. Now, to make that cycle work, everyone needs to be on the same page. Scrum uses 3 key tools, or artifacts, to make all the work visible. First is the product backlog. That's the master wish list for everything the product could ever be. Then you have the sprint backlog, which is the team's detailed plan for just this one sprint. And finally, you have the increment, which is the actual, usable, and potentially shippable piece of the product that gets created. These artifacts make sure there are no secrets. Everyone knows what the goal is, what the plan is, and what's been done. Okay, this might sound a little simple, but honestly, it's one of the most powerful concepts in all of Scrum. How do you know when a piece of work is actually finished? The definition of done is the answer. It's a formal agreement, a shared checklist that everyone on the team creates that defines exactly what it means for work to be 100% complete. This little thing is a game changer. It gets rid of all the "I thought you meant" conversations and ensures that quality is baked in from the start. So we've got the process, we've got the tools, but what about the people? A framework is only as good as the team using it. And in Scrum, the team has a very specific structure with 3 distinct roles that work together to make it all happen. First up, you have the product owner. This person is the ultimate champion of the product's vision. They are the voice of the customer, the stakeholders, and the business. Their entire job is to maximize the value the team produces, and they do that by owning and prioritizing that master to-do list, the product backlog. They decide what the team builds. Next, we have the Scrum Master. And let's be super clear here, this is not your traditional project manager. The Scrum Master is a coach, a facilitator, a servant leader. Their job is to help the team be the best it can be. They do that by teaching Scrum, guiding the events, and, this is huge, by removing any roadblock or impediment that gets in the team's way. They protect the team and the process. And finally, we have the developers. Now, in the world of Scrum, developer doesn't just mean a coder. It means anyone who is hands-on in building the product. That could be engineers, designers, QA testers, data analysts, you name it. They are a self-contained, cross-functional team with all the skills they need to take an idea from the backlog and turn it into a finished piece of the product. And here's the really important part. These 3 roles, the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the developers, they form one single cohesive unit, the Scrum team. There are no managers, no sub-teams, no hierarchies. It's a flat structure designed to empower the team to manage their own work, make decisions fast, and adapt to whatever comes their way. It's a structure built for one thing: getting valuable stuff done. All right, that all sounds great in theory, doesn't it? But does this stuff actually work when you're a massive company with thousands of employees? You bet it does. Let's step out of the textbook and into the real world to see how a couple of huge organizations have used these ideas to innovate at a massive scale. Let's start with Allianz, a huge traditional insurance giant. Not exactly the first company you think of when you hear Agile, right? Well, to get faster and more customer-focused, they took a page right out of the tech playbook. They totally restructured their business into what they call tribes. Each tribe is like a small startup within the larger company, focused on a specific customer need, which lets them move so much faster than they ever could before. And where did Allianz get that tribe idea? Well, it was likely inspired by our next example, which has become absolutely legendary in the Agile community, the Spotify model. As Spotify was experiencing explosive growth, they faced a massive challenge. How do you get bigger without getting slower? Now, I know this diagram might look a little intense at first glance, but it's an incredibly smart solution to that very problem. How do you scale and stay fast? Spotify's answer was this unique structure built around 4 concepts: squads, tribes, chapters, and guilds. Let's just break this down real quick. A squad is your basic team, kind of like a Scrum team. They're autonomous and own a specific feature. A tribe is simply a group of squads that work in a related area, like music recommendations. Now, to make sure everyone's skills stay sharp, you have chapters. That's all the people with a similar skill, like all the designers, within one tribe. And finally, guilds are like company-wide clubs for people who share an interest, like everyone passionate about testing, so they can share knowledge across the whole organization. It's a brilliant way to keep teams independent while also keeping everyone connected and learning. And what were the results of this whole thing? For Spotify, it meant insane speed. It drastically reduced the bottlenecks and dependencies that cripple big companies. It kept bureaucracy to a minimum and empowered teams to solve their own problems. It's really a masterclass in how to balance team autonomy with company-wide alignment. So we've journeyed all the way from the chaos of project management nightmares to the focused clarity of the Scrum framework. And we've seen how companies like Spotify put it into practice with incredible results. We've talked mindset, roles, and process. So the final question isn't for me, it's for you. Thinking about your own work, your own team, what's the first small, manageable step you can take to bring just a little more agility into what you do? Thanks for watching.